Morning, everybody. Here is the conclusion to Rikki, Tikki, Tavi. And we have just one snake left that he has to battle, Nagina. Although if he doesn't destroy all the eggs before they hatch, there's also going to be a bunch of little snakelings that he has to fight off as well, which are just as dangerous. So let's see what happens next. I'm going to be reading from page 150 at the top of the page. Now, she fluttered in front of Nagina. We're hearing about Darcy's wife here. And let's see if we learned her name. No, just Darcy's wife, the female bird. She fluttered in front of Nagina by the rubbish heap. He cried out, "Oh, my wing is broken. The boy in the house threw a stone at me and broke it." Then she fluttered more desperately than ever. Nagina lifted up her head and hissed, "You warned Rikki Tikki when I would have killed him. Indeed and truly, you've chosen a bad place to be lame in." And Nagina moved toward Darcy's wife, slipping along over the dust. "The boy broke it with a stone," shrieked Darcy's wife. "Well, it may be some consolation to you when you're dead to know that I shall settle accounts with the boy. My husband lies on the rubbish heap this morning, but before night, the boy in the house will lie very still," which means she's going to kill him. "What is the use of running away? I am sure to catch you. Little fool, look at me." Darcy's wife knew better than to do that, for a bird who looks at a snake's eyes gets so frightened that she cannot move. She's paralyzed for fear. Darcy's wife fluttered on, piping sorrowfully and never leaving the ground, and Nagina quickened her pace. Now Rikki Tikki heard them going up the path from the stables. Rikki Tikki has to come rescue her, and he raced for the end of the melon patch near the wall. There, in the warm litter about the melons, very cunningly hidden, he found 25 eggs, about the size of a bantam's egg, but with whitish skin instead of shell. "I was not a day too soon," he said, for he could see the baby cobras curled up inside the skin. He can tell that they're about to hatch. He knew that the minute they were hatched, they could each kill a man or a mongoose, each one of these 25. He bit off the tips of the eggs as fast as he could, taking care to crush the young cobras, and turned over the litter from time to time to see whether he had missed any. So very smart. He's just nipping off the top of the egg and killing the cobra inside. At last, there were only 3 eggs left, and Rikki Tikki began to chuckle to himself when he heard Darcy's wife screaming, "Rikki Tikki, I led Nagina toward the house, and she has gone into the veranda, and oh, come quickly, she means killing." Now Rikki Tikki smashed 2 eggs and tumbled backward down the melon bed with the 3rd egg in his mouth. He is having to save everyone. And so far he's killed now with this 3rd egg in his mouth, so not quite 25, but then, so 26 total. Wow. And scuttled to the, with noggin karate, that is. So, and he scuttled to the veranda as hard as he could put foot to the ground. Teddy and his mother and father were there at early breakfast, but Rikki Tikki saw that they were not eating anything. They just sat stone still, and their faces were white. Nagina was coiled up on the matting by Teddy's chair within easy striking distance of Teddy's bare leg, and she was swaying back to and fro, singing a song of triumph. "Son of the big man that killed Nog," she hissed. "Stay still. I am not ready yet. Wait a little. Keep very still, all you 3. If you move, I strike. And if you do not move, I strike. Oh, foolish people, who killed my Nog?" she asks. Teddy's eyes were fixed on his father, and all his father could do was to whisper, "Sit still, Teddy. You mustn't move. Teddy, keep still." Then Rikki Tikki came up and cried, "Turn round, Nagina. Turn and fight." "All in good time," said she, without moving her eyes. "I will settle my account with you presently. Look at your friends, Rikki Tikki. They are still and white. They are afraid. They dare not move. And if you come a step nearer, I strike." "Look at your eggs," said Rikki Tikki. "In the melon bed near the wall. Go and look, Nagina." At this, a mother would start to react in protection of her babies, these little eggs. Now the big snake turned half round and saw the egg on the veranda. "Ah, give it to me," she said. Rikki Tikki put his paws one on each side of the egg, and his eyes were blood red. What price for a snake's egg? For a young cobra? For a young king cobra? For the very last of the brood, the answer eating all the others down by the melon bed. Nagina spun clear round, forgetting everything for the sake of the one egg left. And Rikki Tikki saw Teddy's father shoot out a big hand, catch Teddy by the shoulder, and drag him across the little table with the teacup, safe and out of reach of Nagina. So it was enough to get Nagina away from Teddy. Tricked, 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 chuckled Rikki Tikki. The boy is safe, and it was I that caught Nog by the hood last night in the bedroom. Then he began to jump up and down, all 4 feet together, his head close to the floor. He threw me to and fro, but he could not shake me off. He was dead before the big man blew him in two. I did it. Rikki Tikki tick tick tick. Come then, Nagina. Come and fight with me. You shall not be a widow long. Because he is going to kill her, is his promise. Nagina saw that she had lost her chance of killing Teddy, and the egg lay between Rikki Tikki's paws. Give me the egg, Rikki Tikki. Give me the last of my eggs, and I will go away and never come back, she said, lowering her hood. Yes, you will go away, and you will never come back, or you will go to the rubbish heap with Nog. Fight, widow. The big man has gone for his gun. Fight. Now, Rikki Tikki was bounding all around Nagina, keeping just out of reach of her stroke, his little eyes like hot coals. Nagina gathered herself together and flung out at him. Rikki Tikki jumped up and backwards. Again and again she struck, and each time her head came with a whack on the matting of the veranda, and she gathered herself together like a watch spring. Then Rikki Tikki danced in a circle to get behind her, and Nagina spun round to keep her head to his head, so that the rustle of her tail on the matting sounded like dry leaves blown along by the wind. He had forgotten about the egg. It still lay on the veranda, and Nagina came nearer and nearer to it, till at last, while Rikki Tikki was drawing breath, she caught it in her mouth, turned to the veranda steps, and flew like an arrow down the path with Rikki Tikki behind her. When the cobra runs for her life, she goes like a whiplash, flicked across a horse's neck. Rikki Tikki knew that he must catch her, or all the trouble would begin again. She headed straight for the long grass by the thorn bush, and as he was running, Rikki Tikki heard Darzy still singing his foolish little song of triumph. But Darzy's wife was wiser. She flew off her nest as Nagina came along and flapped her wings about Nagina's head. If Darzy had helped, they might have turned her, but Nagina only lowered her hood and went on. Still, the instant's delay brought Rikki Tikki up to her, and as she plunged into the rat hole where she and Nog used to live, his little white teeth were clenched on her tail, and he went down with her, and very few mongooses, however wise and old they might be, care to follow a cobra into its hole. It was dark in the hole, and Rikki Tikki never knew when it might open up and give Nagina room to turn and strike at him. So he held on savagely and stuck out his feet to act as brakes on the dark slope of the hot, moist earth. Then the grass by the mouth of the hole stopped waving, and Darzy said, "It is all over for Rikki Tikki Tavi. We must sing his death song. Valiant Rikki Tikki is dead, for Nagina will surely kill him underground." So he sang a very mournful song that he made up on the spur of the moment. We'll hear the song in a moment. And just he got to the most touching part. The grass quivered again, and Rikki Tikki, covered with dirt, dragged himself out of the hole leg by leg, licking his whiskers. Darzy stopped with a little shout, Rikki Tikki shook some of the dust out of his fur and sneezed. "It's all over," he said. "The widow will never come out again." And the red ants that lived between the grass stems heard him and began to troop down one after another to see if he had spoken the truth. So he killed Nagina underground in her area that she's strongest in. Rikki Tikki curled himself up in the grass and slept where he was. He slept and slept till it was late in the afternoon, for he had done a hard day's work. "Now," he said when he awoke, "I will go back to the house. Tell the coppersmith, Darcy, and he will tell the garden that Nagina is dead." Now, the coppersmith is a bird who makes a noise exactly like the beating of a little hammer on a copper pot. And the reason he is always making it is because he is the town crier to every Indian garden and tells all the news to everybody who cares to listen. As Rikki Tikki went up the path, he heard his attention notes like a little tiny dinner gong, and then the steady ding dong tock. Nog is dead, dong. Nagina is dead, ding dong tock. That set all the birds in the garden singing, and the frogs croaking, for Nog and Nagina used to eat frogs as well as little birds. When Rikki got to the house, Teddy and Teddy's mother, she still looked very white, for she had been fainting, and Teddy's father came out and almost cried over him. And that night, he ate all that was given him till he could eat no more, and went to bed on Teddy's shoulder, where Teddy's mother saw him when she came to look late at night. "He saved our lives and Teddy's life," she said to her husband. "Just think, he saved all our lives." Rikki Tikki woke up with a jump, for all the mongooses are light sleepers. "Oh, it's you," said he. "What are you bothering for? All the cobras are dead, and if they weren't, I'm here." Rikki Tikki had a right to be proud of himself, but he did not grow too proud. And he kept that garden as a mongoose should keep it, with tooth and jump and spring and bite, till never a cobra dared show its head inside the walls. Oh, what a good character he is. He sacrifices himself for this family, and he's proud of himself for doing it well, for not thinking about himself, just for thinking of them, but never too proud of himself. Now here is Darcy's little chant, her song. "Singer and tailor am I, doubled the joys that I know, proud of my lilt through the sky, proud of the house that I sew. Over and under, so weave I my music, so weave I the house that I sew. Sing to your fledglings again, mother, oh lift up your head. Evil that plagues us is slain, death in the garden lies dead. Terror that hid in the roses is impotent, flung on the dunghill and dead. Who hath delivered us, who? Tell me his nest and his name. Rikki the valiant, the true. Tikki with the eyeballs of flame. Rikki Tikki, the ivory-fanged, the hunter with eyeballs of flame. Give him the thanks of the birds, blowing with tail feathers spread. Praise him with nightingale words. Nay, I will praise him instead. Here, I will sing you the praise of the bottle-tailed Rikki with eyeballs of red." Here, Rikki Tikki interrupted, and the rest of the song was lost. Okay, so that ends the last story that we are going to be reading together from the Jungle Book. There are other stories in this as well that are also wonderful. Short stories by Rudyard Kipling, also about different animals, most of them Indian animals. But that is, I think, an especially good one. So I'm glad that we got a chance to read it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll talk to you all later. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.